Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ESPN Radio 1400 KVSF. We are live tonight on this Sunday evening in the KVSF studios, and we are set for the New Mexico State High School Boys and Girls Seedings and Brackets Show, brought to you by the Santa Fe New Mexican and Hutton Broadcasting. And with us here in the studio tonight, sports writers from the Santa Fe New Mexican, and that is James Barron and Geoff Grammer, and also former Santa Fe High School head coach Carl Mirano. I'm Carl Twibell. We call the games on KVSF, and we're excited to do the show. This is an idea that the New Mexican came up with, and we hope that we have a lot of discussion here tonight betwixt the four of us, and should be an interesting discussion on high school basketball in the state of New Mexico. The brackets came out earlier today, and well, gentlemen, let's get started. James, I thought we'd start with the 5A girls, although we don't have a 5A girls team in the city, but we'll start with them briefly, and Geoff, and we'll just kind of go down the line, guys, and let's look at the number one seed. There is El Dorado, and Sandia's ranked number 2.
Yeah, absolutely, and El Dorado, I think, has been ranked in the either 1 or 2, I think, for most of the year in the New Mexico High School Coaches Association, their top 10 prep poll there. So that's not any kind of surprise. Sandia has been one of the best teams there. They had a fairly young team last year. I think that kind of didn't do as well in the state tournament last year as they thought. Had a lot of young kids coming back there. Kind of expected them to be one of the favorites there in state. So that doesn't really surprise me at all that they were the 2 seed, and especially in that district in 2-5A, which seems to be a lot like the boys, one of the toughest in the state, because they've got La Cueva, Valley, and those 3 right there are usually the toughest in that district.
Let me give the brackets, the matchup. El Dorado, Geoff is ranked number 1. They'll play number 16 seed Alamogordo. Then in the top half of the bracket, number 8 La Cueva plays number 9 Mayfield, number 5 Clovis, number 12 Cleveland, and number 4 Gallup will face off against Manzano, the 13th seed. And in the bottom half of that bracket, I think you've got that, Geoff. You want to do that bottom half of the bracket?
Yeah, we got, actually, number 3 seed Las Cruces is a team I think a lot of people probably don't want to play right now, because Matt Abney's a great coach. Covering him when I was sports editor down in Las Cruces, he definitely knows what he's doing. He's turned that program around, and I'm glad to see them getting a high seed. I thought they actually might even sneak into the 2 seed. They're number 2 in this week's coaches poll. They'll be playing the 14 seed Carlsbad. Number 6 seed will be playing number 11 Rio Grande. Valley and Hobbs match up in the 7-10 matchup, and then Las Cruces Oñate and number 2 Sandia. And number 2 Sandia obviously is going to be the favorite to come out of that side of the bracket, but I really like Coach Abney down in Las Cruces, and I think the Bulldogs might be able to upset Sandia come that semifinal matchup. Other than that, I don't know that I see a whole lot of upsets in the girls bracket right now.
Go ahead, Carl.
I agree with you there, Geoff. The 5A girls bracket, pretty top heavy. Look at those top 5 teams. I think the state champion will come out of those top 5 seeds, and I don't see anybody below 5 really making noise into the semis or the championship game. I do like Gallup, and they're always there. Coach Lemazny does a great job down in Gallup. You can't count them out at the 4 seed. They've played a tough schedule. Very good basketball team. He plays that deliberate style. Well, he likes to keep it in the 40-point range, and he does a good job with the motion offense. So Gallup could be the sleeper in 5A, but again, I expect anybody from 1 through 5. Of course, El Dorado being the favorite, but any team from 1 through 5 in that 5A girls bracket could win it.
Well, I'll throw a sleeper out there, and I think Cibola will be could be one of those teams that kind of makes a surprise run. Earlier, or about a month ago, I talked with St. Pius's head coach Phil Griego, and he talked about how strong the top 5 or 6 teams were in 5A, and he really didn't think. He, like you said, he thought probably the state champion would come out of one of those top 5 or 6 seeds, but at the same time, he also felt there might be some upsets there just because of the depth that 5A, in terms of the quality of teams that they have there. He said there might be some upsets there, and I think Cibola was one of the teams that he mentioned could be a team that teams will be scared to play, especially once they get to the Albuquerque portion of the tournament.
Well, let me just say that I'll fire the first shot here this afternoon. Any team outside of Albuquerque is the team I